Good morning, everyone. It's Thursday, March 5th, I believe. About 1 degree. I'm heading out for a solo overnight backpack trip to a kind of a watershed area, so I'm not sure if I'll specify it as I'm going or not. Technically, you're not really supposed to camp out there, but people do. I found like a lot of bushcraft camps out there in the past. This is the reason I'm walking so delicately. Ooh. Hopefully this doesn't last forever. It's primarily a mountain bike trail that I'm going to. Then it turns into a hiking trail. So it's dual purpose, and then it becomes too rugged for mountain bike, and that's where I'm anticipating I'll set up camp for the night. It's about to be -4 tonight, -5, and I don't know if that's what will happen out here. It may actually end up being colder, but I'll be good down to about -10. I got my new down hood from Hammock Gear that I won in a giveaway, so I think it might be a little too warm for that, but we'll see. So this is the bad part of the hike. I've got a highway just to my left, and I parallel it for, I don't know, it's probably a kilometer that I actually have to walk alongside of it. I'm coming up to a tunnel that goes directly underneath it, and from that point on, it's a straight line. It's not straight, but it's perpendicular to the highway, so every step I take gets me further away. So I'm looking forward to that. I am finally in the woods, and yeah, already the highway's way back there. I can kind of still hear when there's a logging truck or something, a transport truck going through, but other than that, it's just a dull hum. So now started into the deep forest. I'm not going to have any more clear cuts. The wind's not going to be as big of an issue. I think the ice may still be, though, based on what I'm seeing. Now this is more like the hiking that I was looking forward to. Just show you. It's tough to get more variety than this trail here. I just came out of a clear cut. Now look, I'm walking through dense fir trees on a mossy forest floor. This could very well be an option for tonight as well, if further on isn't as nice. That's the top of or the bottom of the little lake. Big trees like this down everywhere, and in this case, if I hadn't brought my hammock, check out this improvised lean-to. Isn't that something? I don't know if you can get an idea of the size of it, but I'm gonna walk in. I'll set the camera up, just give me a second for that. Well, I'm 6 feet tall. My head's not touching the top. It's dry down here too. Wow. Well, I pretty much made it down the hill without killing myself. You did miss a good fall. Right, just was right here. I got a little cocky, and underneath those leaves there was some ice. So I fell pretty hard on my left arm, elbow, and shoulder, but it didn't. Everything's working. Didn't break anything. I don't know if you can see how steep this is. I've walked down it in the summer. Obviously, it's not terrible. So that's level right there, and that icy patch you're seeing, that is the trail. I stepped off it to the right here. This is where I fell, right up in here, in behind those trees. Looks like it's pretty much frozen. There's some open water there, but I'm kind of curious about going this way. It's a little breezy, but it's not crazy. So this may be where I set up for the night. Yes. Look at that. Well, I've just changed into my warmer clothes. I've had a little bite to eat. Check out this sandwich. No. I've got it in porch mode right now. I did have it all tied down. It's ready to go into nighttime mode, where I'm going to block off every bit of wind that I can. Just suspending my my pack from a tree there. So now I got to go get some water. How lucky is this? Yeah, right there. That'll work. My trusty platypus water filtration system. Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah, I'm going to be able to drink that. But look how clear that is. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. There. And it's time to start making a coffee. I do have sausage for supper, and I've hung it over there on the tree. And there's no bears out this time of year, but you never know, just in case. Actually, I have some little pepperonis in my bag too. I got to take them out and put them over there. That's mostly to keep the mice from chewing through my backpack, though. The lake goes a long ways that way. I can only just see just the tip of it, basically. Well, I was laying in the hammock and pretty much ready to go to bed at 3:30. So I decided, even if I'm not going to make a fire, I might as well have all the stuff ready to make one in case I change my mind. And yeah, so I cut down this big piece of dead stuff. I've already split it in half and quartered one of the pieces. I'm going to dice this one up a little bit, and then have lots of wood for firewood. Okay, camera battery died. Oh, this stuff is splitting really easily. I am definitely going to buck up more of it just to have Dryer lint. Well, now that I got my fire all ready to go, there's not a whole lot else to do. I brought a book and I brought a brace and bit. I was planning on maybe making a table or two, but I don't know. I honestly can't be bothered at this point. Like, I'm feeling pretty tired after that hike. The backpack was about 43 pounds, so I think I got to work on diminishing that. But part of that was a brace and bit, a silky saw, and my axe. So that'd be almost 8 pounds right there. So if I got rid of those items, if I was doing an actual long hike, I think it'd be all right. But one of the things that I did bring, another luxury item, should always bring something fancy for the woods or something exciting. So I'm going to have this little bad boy right now. This came as a part of a 24 dram advent calendar that my wife Claire got me for Christmas. And this is, I think, the last one, unless I had a Bowmore or something, because I'm not a Bowmore fan. I probably wouldn't have drank it. So this is the last one, so I'm going to enjoy that right now. Okay, well, I finished my supper. Those 2 sausages were really good. I'm just laying in the hammock, have been for about 20 minutes or so, wondering what I'm going to do with the rest of the night, because it's gone pretty dark. I'll just show you real quick. I don't think the camera will pick it up. I'll probably just start reading my book and maybe fall asleep by 8 o'clock or whenever, and hopefully sleep right through till daylight, although I don't know about that. It's going to be like closer to 7 a.m. so I don't know if I can sleep that long, but I can try and just enjoy the sounds of the brook and the wind in the trees, and every now and again the ice kind of moans from shifting, so the ice is going to start to go out pretty soon, I hope. And yeah, I'll check back in the morning. Well, good morning everybody. It's 6:30. About -5 degrees was the low overnight, and I think I just checked the weather. It says it's still -5. I slept like a rock. I ended up turning it off, the light, at about 8:30, so I was worried I'd be up by 4:30, but I slept right through till 6. And yeah, as soon as I woke up, I pitched my tarp back in porch mode so I could see the view, which I'll show you in a second. But I got my my coffee started boiling here for my first coffee. I think I'll just have oatmeal, or maybe even that sandwich. I cut my sandwich in half, so I might even have that. I'm not really sure. Probably the oatmeal though. Just give me something to do, let it warm up. There's no sense hiking out in -5 degrees when it's supposed to go up to 4 degrees by the afternoon, so I'll just hang out here till 8:30 or so, and maybe get rid of that ring of rocks that I created for my fire last night. You know, the whole leave no trace thing. Yeah. But this is just about to boil. I think I'll show you the view, and then I'll make my coffee. I'll lay here in the hammock. So the sun is just poking through now. It's 7:15. I figured I'd show you what I wore for most of the night. I mean, I got this hat that Claire knit me on over top of a small icebreaker hat. This is merino wool. I wear this because it's really light, and I find like the heavier wool stuff, I don't do so well with it against my skin. This is the down hood that I won, I think I was telling you about yesterday. I'll put it on. I can't film with it on because I can't hear. So I wore that for most of the night. But it actually wasn't really too hot, but about, I don't know, 3/4 of the way through the night I just took it off because it was only -5, and this allows me to hear more. I think I was getting a little paranoid of sounds and things. The ice shifted and made a loud bang at one point, so the mind kind of plays tricks on you sometimes overnight. But yeah, I'm just gonna sit here and keep enjoying the coffee. I don't know if anyone else has this issue when you go solo camping, but I was fine. Got out here, getting set up around 2 o'clock or 3, got everything all put together and was satisfied with what I was going to do, and started splitting some wood. And then once it starts to go dark, just before dark, you have that moment of, do I really want to be out here overnight? I could just walk home now, and I've accomplished my time in the woods, and it only lasts for about a half hour or so, and you just keep yourself busy. And then you realize that you really want to be out here after all. I mean, I always start missing Claire around that time and thinking, oh, I could be sitting home on the couch watching TV with her and the dog. But I'll tell you, like, once I fell asleep and I woke up a couple of times in the night, I was never cold. And looking forward to this in the morning. This makes it all worth it. So another thing I want to make a quick mention of is my tarp. I've got a little bit of shock cord right on the very end of each. It's about this long of each, which is then connected to just a fairly cheap, real 3.5 mil paracord, I think it is. Anyway, I got Dutch Wear Gear tarp worms on the end of each one, and on the two that go out where on this side of the hammock, I've got 2 tarp hooks, hookworms I guess they're called, so you can hook them and unhook them if you want to set up in porch mode. But so I had it tarped down, and at 6 a.m. when I woke up, I decided I wanted to be able to see the sunrise. So in the dark, I was able to get up and manipulate all that and tighten and everything with those hookworms without even my light. Like I left my little headlight right in the hammock. I didn't even put it on. So you know, it takes a little bit of practice to get used to using them, but not very much at all. Like I would say, you know, I've only done it maybe 10-15 times where I've used those, so, and never at night, and there was no problem. So, and you know, it's nice when you don't have to fiddle with your gear. I had these gloves on, and can you see them? I had these gloves on, and that didn't affect it at all. So, highly recommend those. There's my sunrise. Well, I can feel that heat already. That was the ice settling. It's 8 a.m. now.
I'm just finally getting around to making my second coffee and breakfast. So I'm going to just have apple and cinnamon Quaker instant oatmeal. I'm only going to have one pouch of that because Claire brought me a treat yesterday. I'm just warming it up in my pocket. That is a delicious almond croissant. I'm surrounded by hemlock trees, which is kind of odd because I went through so many stands of pine, and just across the water it looks like it's all pine on that side, so it's kind of interesting that this is all hemlock, which are quickly becoming my second favorite tree. However, apparently they can be poisonous. Was it Socrates that drank the hemlock to kill himself way back? Anyway, my fire I had last night, I'm suspicious that the piece of dead wood I had was hemlock, but I'm suffering no ill effects. I don't know, I never really looked into it. Maybe I should have before I started the fire. I cooked my sausages on the open fire. I let it get to almost coals by the time I started cooking it. But up until that point I was breathing in the smoke, and obviously it can't poison you from that because I never felt even a bit off. So okay, so I'm all packed up and ready to go. Broke my tripod, so the filming from here out may be rather minimal. Off I go. I'm going to try to pick my way through the ice today again. I have a little concern that it's going to be more slippery than yesterday because it's actually froze down quite a bit more. So I know that just walking around the hammock to try to take it down, it was more slippery than it was when I was putting it up. Just show you really quickly. Oh, it's kind of like my rock climbing days back when you had to plan your moves out as you're going. That uphill was just torturous, but I actually think I prefer going up because you have a bit of control. Going down is kind of bounce from tree to tree and hope it doesn't tip over when you grab onto it. Some of these aren't so healthy. Just back there on that icy bit, just as I turned off the camera before, it's coming down the hill, and didn't I wipe out and slide underneath? This is the only injury I got. I slid under a log, I don't know if you can see that, and my foot kind of got wedged under it, so kind of a good moment of reality because I'm still probably 8 kilometers away from safety, and this is the only road that comes in. There wouldn't even be a place to land a helicopter anywhere near me, so if I had really, say, snapped a femur or something, it would have been a bad day. So I gotta be a little more careful when I'm out here by myself. Coming down to kind of a stream crossing here. Figured I'd film a little bit if I can get down to it safely, that is. Oh, that's nasty. Look at that little guy. Hey buddy. What's going on? Okay, well I'm back to within earshot of the highway, so I figured I'd end it here. It's given me something to do when I get home, edit some video, maybe record a little bit of music or use some from a previous one. I don't know when my next trip's going to be. It'd probably be sooner than later, I would assume, now that the weather is getting a little bit better. I don't mind this temperature for hiking and camping in, but it's hard to get other people to go sometimes. So yeah, keep that in mind. I'll be out a lot more and probably doing a lot more filming in the upcoming months. So I'm looking forward to that. I've only got about, if I didn't say, about an hour left to get home. So thanks for watching. I'm not going to probably record much of the return journey just because the more steps I take, the closer I get to that highway and the closer I get to, you know, not as nice terrain anyway.